Background on the story, the reason the AED is actually in the rink is in January of 2008, we had another player, a guy by the name of Sam Villa. He actually died of a heart attack. I was actually reffing that game. And he collapsed right out there at center ice. He just fell down. It was a rec league game. Sometimes guys fall down. I continued in the zone with the puck as the back ref, or as the front referee. John Scott, the back referee, was out, and we heard Jerry Sullivan from the bench yelling, "Blow the whistle, blow the whistle." John blows his whistle, turn and look, he's down. Jerry's on the ice, comes over. Steve Jones comes over, and they do compressions on him. We had somebody call 911. We opened all the Zamboni doors, waited for emergency response. And for us, it seemed like it took 20 minutes or so for emergency response, but when we checked the records, Jerry Sullivan checked later, he said it took emergency response less than 8 minutes to get here. But it was already too late for Sam. He didn't make it. It changed a lot of people's attitude. They were, an awareness, which, really I think helped me out because Steve Jones was there, and Steve was my dentist, but we didn't play together. But we got closer because of that incident, and then Steve started playing with me, and he was one of the first ones that recognized that I was having, might have been going down that track. The first period I felt fine, skated, felt like I had energy and everything like that. All of a sudden, the second period I did 2 shifts, and it was like I got winded so fast, I was just tired. And I think that's when the artery was starting to close down, on reflection. But then I went out on a shift and I felt very nauseous. I felt like throwing up. Matter of fact, I was thinking, because the snack bar had closed, I ran over to Jack in the Box and grabbed a quick burger before a game. I thought it was the hamburger causing me to be really nauseous and everything. But then I went out, did one more shift, and I had pains across my chest. I knew there was something wrong. And my daughter-in-law, my son plays on the team also, and my daughter-in-law is an MA. So I tried to get her to come down and see me at the gate, and I went out the gate. I went to sit on the bench, and I remember reaching down to touch the bench. The next thing I remember, I'm seeing Steve Jones and Chris Newman over me. I try to get up, and Chris goes, "John, stay down. We just had to defibrillate you."
As I walked into the rink, Jay runs by me, and he's the Zamboni driver, and says, "Bind's down. Do you know how to use an AED?" It's like, "Yes." And he says, "Come with me." I said, "No, you go get the AED." So I went to where John was, and he was down. They had already taken most of his equipment off, his helmet, and I couldn't believe how fast Jay came back with the AED.
I think I pushed through the double doors and pretty fast and grabbed it, and people were in the lobby looking at me like, "What's this crazy guy doing?" And when they grabbed it, the alarm went off, kind of startled me and sent me flying right back out the door, so it was pretty fast.
I ran, and I had just got there, and Jay shoves the AED in my hand, and so I started opening it, and meanwhile, there were 2 other gentlemen there, Steve and Chris, and I asked Chris if he was an EMT, because he looked like he knew what he was doing, and he was, so I gave him the AED. I'm trained in it, and I know how to use it, but obviously he knows what he's doing. So I gave him the AED. Steve started chest compressions, I started breathing, and John was obviously not with us. And the AED fired up, gave him, I believe, 2 shocks. And John opening his eyes was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It's many father-son combinations skate at that skate. And John's son, Brian, I think he's 23, 22, was standing at his feet looking at his dad, who was, by all practical purposes, dead. And the AED, it was the best thing in my life ever to see John open his eyes and to be able to tell his son, "Your dad's still with us."
A miracle, because when I got back, John was pretty much gone. The foam, the look, the expression was pretty devastating. So to see him like that, and I'm just glad he's still around.
2 months later, I was back playing hockey, and I attribute it to 2 reasons: the AED, the quick response, the fact that I got over to Holy Family, and I got in surgery right away, and I was out right away. And the literature I've read since then said they did everything right to give me the greatest chance for a full recovery. I think it's a super device, and talking to people who used it on me and everything, they said it's real nice because it talks you through every step. It's self-explanatory, so even if somebody didn't have training, they would have the ability to use it. But when you go through the training, You really see it. It's a device that anybody can use. And yes, I think it's a wonderful device because I'm here to talk to you today.